most
like
likely
reset or something.
refreshed image recently.
Yeah. Anyway, but we've been touting datcoreedoe's performance on high-level stuff. But you can see Shinobee is very, very good at timing. They were neck and neck that whole time. And Shinobee has been practicing harder difficulty stuff, so it can't counter out just yet.
So we will see. You know, anything can happen in these songs. We've seen some pretty crazy swings already today.
Finally got a hold of Pink and Jakey Jam. So as soon as they're done, you're gonna draw with the
Both players are off to just a little bit of a slightly rough start here. Shinobee's picked up a couple of off judgments and one miss. Corey, I think, has eaten at least one miss, potentially more. Definitely at least one other off judgment in there. Yeah, there's some patterns at the beginning of this chart that are cross unders, which are can be very awkward if you're not used to that. I feel like the quintessential crossover is one foot over the other and not necessarily one leg under the other. And I think some players can struggle with that outright, so...
It also just has really weird rhythms.
Yeah, very syncopated, but it's definitely the cross-unders. If you're not used to positioning your form correctly, you won't move over far enough. You'll hit some other panels earlier in the 16th runs, but coming up to the first time here, Corey's built about a 3,000-point lead. Does he know how to read the techie section? I would hope so, because he played this qualifier quite a fair bit for Midsummer Melody.
I would say this part is a little bit easier than the beginning, but it does have some tricky stuff like these 24th bursts.
Very hard to time, yes. Okay, Shinobee puts up a honorable fight there and closes that out with a 93.
I mean, that's a great score.
Very good at 97.
97, it's hard to beat on Accelerate. That's
so again, as you can see, something like 97 perfect with only like a little bit of extra change in off judgments, you know. That's a very strong skill set to have, even if, you know, at the higher level, you would look at 47 perfects and you would think, wow, that's like an auto loss. But more around the mid-level where there's higher variance and volatility in matches, being able to keep a consistent combo like that, even if it's a lot of minor point loss from yellow earlies, a very good thing still.
Yep. Shinobee picked OP13, one of the new Naoki classics.
A new classic.
Yeah, that's what I like to call it. Yeah, this one I think is mostly just like different rhythms constructed with the 16ths.
I believe there should be one run here that's going to incorporate some interesting off judgments a little bit into the song.
Yeah.
It starts out very straightforward, but it is going to ramp up in difficulty. It's one of those 22s. Little tidbits of tasteful tech thrown in throughout. I believe very shortly, I think on the next musical phrase, we're going to see a run.
Yep. Triplets.
Yeah, a little bit of looks like...
Yeah, Corey getting a little bit of flubbing, closing that gap between the two players.
Shinobee seems to have found her stride. I feel like she's locked into the timing window a little later in the song. Just gotta make sure you're not drifting too much in those loose piano sections, but... It's very close.
It's so close. Shinobee is locked in. Ooh, but the early... Oh, but the early from... I saw it flip. Oh,
and
my
at the
God.
last bit of the song, Shinobee swings it around to a point lead to the tune of 19 points.
It was so close.
Wow.
It flipped so many times. Oh my god, the earlies and lates.
Those lates, they're in low Earth orbit right now.
Oh my god. What a crazy game. We love seeing game 3s here.
Alright.
We're so distracted we're not even updating the points. Alright, 1-1. Now the question is, who is better at triplets? Triplets can be hard to time.
Well, you've got some triplets. This can be a pretty tricky song to lock in as well because it does kind of follow this sort of like piano without a lot of percussion or bass backing it at the beginning. Yeah. So some players have a lot of difficulty locking the timing like that. And the song is surprisingly techy. It's got some twists.
It has a lot of really weird tech.
It has a lot of very difficult turns interspersed with these foot switches indicated by rolls later in the song. So this can be very difficult to execute if you're not familiar with it. So let's see how familiar these players are with this song's particular brand of tech and some of the difficulties with timing. Shinobee picking up that one missed note on one of those twists.
Yeah.
Still far too early to call.
Yeah, as we've seen, you can't call it till the very end. What's up, Jay Kurz? Jay Kurz made it.
Coming up towards the halfway point, Shinobee's actually not that far behind. The miss is detrimental and that early's a little detrimental, but both players are streaming a lot of yellows.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of earlies from datcoreedoe. Oh, here comes the foot switch. Yeah, I'd say Shinobee's a little bit more locked into the timing, but the tech is really tripping her up.
Now, the problem there is you don't want to be dropping rolls if you can help it. We'll talk about that in a second.
Ooh, datcoreedoe picking up some earlies.
All right, and he manages very respectable 98K. One thing that's worth noting.
That's a crazy score on this song.
So
especially
approximately.
with some earlies and a miss and a mine hit.
So worth noting. Approximately a roll is worth the same as one note, but you get a fraction of it for every hit you have.
Right.
And so a lot of those rolls, they're 2-note hits, which means if you hit it once, but you don't execute the foot switch properly or you fumble it and you only hit one of the two and you get the red X judgment, that's almost analogous to getting an early.
Right.
It's about a 50% point loss.
About 50% points.